Too often, people dismiss dreams as nothing more than the mind wandering in the night, a collection of thoughts and memories strung together without meaning. But throughout history, God has spoken through dreams, revealing His will, His warnings, and His direction. If dreams had no meaning, why would they be so prominent in Scripture? Why would Joseph, Daniel, and even the wise men be led by dreams? The truth is, dreams hold meaning, but the key to understanding them is seeking God's wisdom. When someone appears in a dream, it is not enough to simply notice it. We must ask, why? What is God revealing? What must I do? The mistake many make is to dismiss their dreams too quickly. They wake up, shake off the images, and move on with their day as if nothing significant happened. But what if that dream was a message? What if it was an answer to something they have been praying about? What if it was a warning about something they cannot yet see? God speaks in many ways through His Word, through circumstances, through people, and yes, through dreams. But those who do not seek will not find. Joseph did not immediately understand his dreams, but he knew they were significant. He held on to them. And when the time was right, their meaning became clear. Daniel did not assume he could understand dreams on his own. He sought God in prayer, and the interpretation was given to him. Even Nebuchadnezzar, a king who did not serve the God of Israel, knew his dream carried weight, so he sought interpretation. The difference between those who receive revelation and those who do not is often whether or not they seek understanding. When a dream lingers in your mind, when it stirs something in your heart, do not ignore it. Instead, bring it before God, pray and ask Him to reveal its meaning. Write it down, meditate on it. Just as Joseph's dreams were not fulfilled overnight, sometimes the meaning of a dream unfolds over time. It may not make sense immediately, but that does not mean it has no meaning. Some dreams are puzzle pieces that only fit into place later in life. Some dreams reveal things that are not yet visible, but will soon come to pass. Seeking understanding requires a heart willing to listen. God does not hide His wisdom from those who truly seek Him. The Bible says, "Call to me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." God desires to reveal truth, but He also desires for us to come to Him in faith, believing that He will speak. The danger of ignoring dreams is that we might overlook something God is trying to show us. A warning ignored can lead to unnecessary trouble. A message left unheeded can cause us to miss an opportunity. A calling that is revealed but never pursued can leave us wandering when we were meant to walk with purpose. God speaks, but He does not force us to listen. He gives wisdom, but He does not impose it upon us. It is up to us to seek, to ask, to listen, and to act. To understand dreams is not to treat them as meaningless images, nor to assume every dream is divine. It is to discern, to bring them before God, and to seek His voice in the midst of them. Just as He guided His people through dreams in the past, He still does today. But only those who listen, who seek, and who are willing to understand will receive the fullness of what He desires to reveal. A dream can be a doorway to transformation, a moment when the veil between the seen and the unseen is lifted, revealing something that has the power to change your life. If someone appears in a dream, if a message is whispered in the night, it is not merely for observation but for action. Dreams are not passive. They are invitations, a call to reflect, to understand, and to move forward in a way that aligns with God's will. Too often, people experience powerful dreams, feel a stirring in their hearts, and yet do nothing with them. They push them aside, labeling them as strange or insignificant. But when Joseph received dreams of his future, he did not dismiss them. When Pharaoh had his troubling dreams, he sought interpretation, and because he acted, an entire nation was saved. When God gives a dream, it is not meant to be forgotten. It is meant to be understood, prayed over, and responded to. Transformation comes not just from hearing, but from doing. A dream might reveal a calling you have not yet stepped into, a relationship that needs healing, or a warning about a decision you are about to make. It may remind you of something you have lost, your faith, your purpose, your first love for God. Some dreams come to reignite a fire that has dimmed, to stir up a passion that has been buried under the weight of daily life. But the key is what you do next. When God speaks, will you listen? When He calls, will you respond? Dreams have led people to make life-changing decisions. Some have been warned to avoid danger. Others have been led to places and people that would change the course of their lives. Some have had dreams that brought healing as they finally confronted emotions and wounds they had long ignored. Others have had dreams that awakened them to their true purpose, setting them on a path they had never before considered. But none of this happens without action. Bringing a dream before God is the first step. Just as Daniel sought God's wisdom to interpret the king's dream, so must we seek his guidance. Ask him, what does this mean? What are you showing me? What must I do? Be willing to wait, to listen, to receive. Sometimes the meaning of a dream is clear immediately, and other times it unfolds over time. But when it comes, it requires a response. A dream that reveals a need for forgiveness must lead to reconciliation. A dream that calls you into purpose must lead to action. A dream that warns of danger must lead to wisdom and preparation. Nothing God reveals is without reason. He does not show things for them to be ignored. If a dream lingers in your heart, if it stirs something deep within you, it is because it holds meaning. And if it holds meaning, then it requires a response. Do not be like those who see but do not perceive, who hear but do not understand. Instead, be like those who recognize when God is speaking and choose to walk in the wisdom he provides. For if God has placed something before you, whether in a dream, a vision, or a stirring in your spirit, it is not meant to be forgotten. It is meant to be lived. And in responding, in stepping forward with faith and obedience, you step into transformation. You step into destiny. You step into the very purpose for which you were created. Life is not a series of disconnected moments, nor are our dreams separate from the reality we live in. Everything is connected, our past, our present, and our future, woven together by the hand of God in ways we do not always perceive. The person who appears in your dream is not there by accident, because dreams are often the bridge between what was, what is, and what is yet to come. God, who exists beyond time, speaks through dreams to remind, to warn, and to prepare. What seems like a fleeting vision in the night may actually be a piece of a much larger story unfolding in your life. Many people experience dreams where they relive moments from the past. It could be a childhood home, an old friend, or even a situation they thought they had left behind. These dreams are not meaningless. They reveal how the past continues to shape the present. Some wounds remain buried until they surface in a dream, reminding us that healing is still needed. Sometimes these dreams bring back memories of joy, of times when faith was stronger, when love was pure, when life was simpler. In these cases, God may be reminding you of something that needs to be reclaimed. The heart often forgets what the soul still remembers. If a dream brings forth a memory that stirs your spirit, it is worth asking why. Other times, dreams reveal the future. Joseph, the son of Jacob, dreamed of his brothers bowing before him long before it ever happened. Pharaoh dreamed of a famine years before it struck. The Bible is filled with accounts of God revealing future events through dreams. Even today, people have experienced dreams that later come to pass. Meeting someone they had seen in a dream, stepping into a place they once envisioned, or encountering a moment they had already lived in the night. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses of what is written, pieces of destiny waiting to unfold. When a dream feels significant, when it lingers in the heart as though it carries weight, it is often because it holds a message about the future. Then there are dreams that do both. They tie the past to the future, showing how the threads of time are connected. A person from your past appearing in a dream may not be about the past at all. It may be about the present or the future. It could be a reminder of who you once were and who you are meant to become. It could be a sign that a lesson left unfinished must now be learned. It could be that God is showing you how far He has brought you, or He may be calling you back to something you abandoned too soon. A decision made today does not stay in today, it shapes tomorrow. A step taken now can lead to a future that would have never been possible otherwise. This is why dreams must not be dismissed. They remind us that time is not as linear as we think. What happened years ago can still shape us now. And what is revealed in a dream tonight can prepare us for a moment years from now. God uses dreams as a tool to connect the past, present, and future because He sees all things at once. He sees the prayers you once prayed, the doors that were once closed, the path you could not yet walk. He sees what is coming, what you are stepping into, and what must be prepared beforehand. Nothing in your life is isolated. Everything is part of a greater design. And sometimes God speaks in the stillness of the night, showing us what we have forgotten, what we must face, and what is yet to come. When someone appears in a dream, it is not always about them as a person, but about what they represent. Dreams speak in symbols, in layers of meaning that go beyond the surface. Just as Pharaoh's dream of 7 cows was not about cows, but about years of abundance and famine, and Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a great statue was not about an idol, but about kingdoms and the course of history, so too can the person in your dream represent something beyond themselves. Their presence may not be about who they are, but about what they stand for in your life. A person from the past may symbolize an unresolved emotion, a lesson not yet learned, or a calling not yet fulfilled. Have you ever dreamed of a childhood friend or a relative who has long passed? It may not be about them as much as about what they remind you of. A time when you were more innocent, more joyful, more trusting. Perhaps God is using their image to draw your attention to something you have lost, a faith you once had, a purity you once walked in. Or perhaps they represent a specific lesson, an act of kindness, a failure, a missed opportunity that still holds meaning today. Sometimes a person in a dream is a reflection of something happening in your life right now. If you see someone who hurts you, it may be a sign that bitterness or unforgiveness is still present. If you dream of a mentor or a leader, it may be a call to step into a greater level of wisdom or authority. A stranger in a dream can even represent a part of yourself that you have ignored or a destiny you have yet to embrace. At times, God uses dreams to reveal what the heart is not yet willing to see. When King David sinned, the prophet Nathan came to him with a parable, a story that reflected David's own actions, though he did not recognize it at first. In the same way, dreams can act as mirrors, revealing truths we might be blind to in our waking life. The person in your dream may embody a struggle you are facing, a decision you must make, or a path you must take. The image may be symbolic, but the message is real. There are also times when a person in a dream is not just a symbol, but a spiritual sign. Just as God sends messages through dreams, the enemy can attempt to bring confusion, fear, or deception. Not every dream is from God. Some dreams are attacks, distractions, or distortions. If a dream leaves you in fear, doubt, or darkness, it must be brought before God. Discernment is needed to separate what is from Him and what is not. God is not the author of confusion, and His messages, even when they come as warnings, lead to wisdom and clarity, not despair. Understanding the meaning behind a person in a dream requires seeking God for revelation. Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream not through human reasoning, but through divine insight. Daniel understood Nebuchadnezzar's visions because he sought wisdom from the Lord. Likewise, dreams today must be brought before God in prayer, asking, what does this mean? Why was this person in my dream? What are you showing me, Lord? Can open the door to understanding. Nothing in the spiritual realm happens by accident. If someone appears in your dream, it is for a reason. It may not be about them as an individual, but about something greater they represent in your life. Dreams are messages, and to ignore them is to ignore a potential calling, a warning, or an invitation to something deeper. In seeking understanding, we move beyond the surface and step into the greater wisdom that God desires to reveal. My friend, have you ever woken from a dream, one so vivid, so real, that it lingered in your soul like a whisper from eternity? Have you ever seen a face in the night, one you knew but had long forgotten, one you missed, one that had wronged you, or one you had wronged? Have you ever wondered why dreams are not random? They are part of a language, one of mystery, of revelation, a language God Himself has used since the beginning. He spoke to Joseph in dreams, to Pharaoh, to Nebuchadnezzar, to Daniel, and even in our time, He speaks. Though many do not listen, if someone appears in your dream, it means something. It is not an accident. The one who formed your spirit, the one who holds the mysteries of time, allows things to surface for a reason. Perhaps that person is a key to something unresolved, a word you never closed, a word you never spoke, a forgiveness you never gave. Perhaps they are a sign, a shadow of something yet to come, a calling, a warning, a reminder. Dreams have meaning. They are not merely the random firings of neurons in the brain or the result of subconscious thoughts swirling in the night. Since the beginning of time, God has used dreams as a means of communication, a way to reveal mysteries, to warn, to guide, and to call people into their destinies. When Jacob fled from his brother Esau, he lay down in the wilderness with a stone for a pillow. As he slept, he saw a vision, a ladder stretching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. It was not just a dream, it was a revelation. God was showing him the connection between the earthly and the heavenly, a reality that his waking eyes had never perceived. It was in that dream that God confirmed his promise to Jacob, and when he awoke, he declared, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." Likewise, Joseph, the son of Jacob, received dreams that foretold his future. In one, he saw his brother's sheaves of grain bowing down to his. In another, he saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing before him. These were not meaningless visions, but divine revelations of what was to come. Yet at the time, even Joseph did not fully understand their significance. His brothers were angered, and his father was perplexed. But the dreams carried the seed of destiny. Years later, when famine struck the land, and Joseph had risen to power in Egypt, his brothers stood before him, fulfilling the very vision that had once seemed impossible. This pattern continues throughout the Bible. Pharaoh dreamed of 7 fat cows and 7 lean cows, a mystery that only Joseph could interpret. God was speaking, warning of 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Nebuchadnezzar dreamed of a great statue revealing the course of future kingdoms. Daniel was given the wisdom to interpret it. The wise men were warned in a dream not to return to Herod, ensuring the safety of the Christ child. Pilate's wife, troubled by a dream, warned her husband not to condemn Jesus. What does this tell us? That dreams are not accidents. They are a language of the Spirit, a way in which God reaches into the soul when the distractions of the day have faded away. When the mind is still, the heart is open, and God can speak. Some dreams come as warnings, others as confirmations. Some as reminders of what we have ignored, and others as glimpses of what is yet to come. But they are never without meaning. Even today, God continues to speak through dreams. Many have found answers in the night, guidance when they needed it most. Some have been warned of danger. Others have been called into a deeper walk with God. There are testimonies of people who dreamed of a place they had never been, only to find themselves there years later, stepping into a moment that had already been revealed. Some have seen loved ones in dreams, reminding them of unfinished business, of words left unsaid, of forgiveness that must be given. Yet too often we dismiss our dreams as nothing more than fragments of the mind. We wake, shake them off, and continue with life as if they never happened. But what if instead of ignoring them, we sought their meaning? What if we, like Joseph, like Daniel, like Jacob, asked God, "What are you saying? What must I do?" What if we saw dreams not as illusions, but as invitations to listen, to seek, to understand? For if God spoke through dreams then, why would he not do so now? If he revealed mysteries in the night to those who walked before us, why would he not do the same for those who walk with him today? If he placed meaning in their dreams, then perhaps, just perhaps, he is placing meaning in yours as well. If someone appears in your dream, it is not by accident. The human mind does not create images at random. Rather, dreams are often woven with meaning, carrying messages that the conscious mind may overlook. Throughout history, God has used dreams to communicate significant truths, and the presence of a specific person in a dream may hold a deeper spiritual or emotional significance. Whether it is a loved one, a stranger, or even someone from the past, their appearance serves as a signpost pointing towards something that must be addressed. Sometimes, the person in a dream is a reflection of an unresolved issue. There are relationships left in tension, words left unspoken, and wounds left unhealed. If you dream of someone with whom you once had a broken relationship, it may be a prompting to seek reconciliation. Scripture reminds us that before bringing an offering to God, we must first make peace with our brother. The dream may be calling you to forgive, to release bitterness, or to reach out. It may not be about rekindling an old friendship, but about setting things right in your own heart. The past does not remain buried. It echoes in our present and shapes our future. And often God will use dreams to bring those echoes to the surface, urging us to deal with them. Other times, the person in a dream is a representation of something greater. In the Bible, Pharaoh's dream did not just show cows, it symbolized years of plenty and famine. Nebuchadnezzar's dream did not just show a statue, it revealed the course of history. In the same way, a person appearing in your dream may symbolize something beyond themselves. They may represent an unresolved fear, a longing, or even a spiritual calling. Perhaps they stand for a part of yourself that has been lost or neglected. Their presence may serve as a reminder of a road not taken, a calling left unanswered, or a purpose yet to be fulfilled. A dream may also be a divine warning. Just as the wise men were warned in a dream to avoid Herod, the appearance of a specific person may be a sign of caution. If someone appears bringing conflict, deception, or confusion, it may be a revelation that their presence in your waking life is not for your good. God often gives discernment through dreams, revealing what is hidden beneath the surface. Some have avoided dangerous decisions, toxic relationships, or deception simply because they paid attention to a dream. The Spirit of God works in ways beyond our understanding, sometimes whispering in the night what our waking minds fail to see. At other times, the person in a dream is a calling into something new. Have you ever dreamed of someone you have not yet met? Some have had dreams of encountering a guide, a mentor, or even a future spouse before ever meeting them in reality. In such moments, God may be revealing a connection yet to come, preparing the heart for what lies ahead. Destiny is woven into the fabric of time, and God, who exists beyond time, sometimes allows glimpses into the story He is writing. Ultimately, dreams are not to be ignored. If a person appears, it is a message. It is a message, an invitation to look deeper. Whether it is a calling, a warning, or a reminder, it is placed before you for a reason. And just as Joseph, Daniel, and the prophets sought God for interpretation, so must we. It is not enough to dream, we must seek to understand. When we bring our dreams before God, asking Him to reveal their meaning, we step into a greater awareness of His guidance in our lives. And when we act upon what is revealed, we align ourselves with His purpose, walking the path He has set before us.